Hello and welcome to our real estate mortgage webinar today, and really how to focus on building relationships and increasing your repeat business and referral business through relationship marketing. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Vonda Downs. I'm an executive with SendOutCards. I've been working with just hundreds, if not over 1,000 probably, realtors, companies, associations, a lot of real estate and mortgage companies, loan officers use our system to stay in touch and to thank their clients. We all know the importance of personal thank you cards. Sending out the personal thank you cards. In fact, if you've ever gone to a seminar, business building seminar with Tom Hopkins or Joe Girard or Brian Buffini, many books that you read tell you about, the tipping point, the small things that you do that make a difference in your business. And one of the things that people want to know when they're looking at who they should do business with is that you're someone who is an expert, that you are able to help them with their needs, but also that you care about them and their needs. And how do you express that? How do you let them know that you really do have their best interest at heart? Well, we're going to talk to you about some ways that you can do that. They're simple, and we're going to actually mute the lines here so we don't have any background noise. So hold on one second, and then we'll continue on.
You are now muted.
Okay, there we go. So first of all, when you think about your relationships, in your relationships, whether it be in life, personal, business, every time that you communicate, you have the potential to make positive deposits into that relationship or negative. In fact, there are very few neutral types of communication. Usually it's going to be positive or negative. And so in your business, as you're communicating and staying in touch and expressing gratitude and appreciation to your clients, you're putting those emotional positive deposits into the relationship. You're building the relationship and keeping you connected. I want to give you just one example as we get started. We're going to be talking about some personal ways to stay in touch with your clients. We're going to be talking about campaigns. We actually have an expert from Colorado Springs on the line with us today as well, Dave Moore, who is a realtor with us, and he has been using the system and has some really great campaigns he's going to be sharing with you on the call today. We're also going to offer those campaigns to you for free, so stay on the call. We'll tell you how to get those at the end of the call. But first of all, in talking about your relationships, one of the particular realtors who uses SendOutCards in the Colorado area, he's with RE/MAX Alliance, and he is, I'd say, one of the best that I've ever seen at remembering people's birthdays. So if you are in his sphere of influence, you will get a birthday card from him. You will also get a phone call from him. Sometimes it's a voicemail. And also it's not only to you, to your spouse, but also to each one of your children. It's actually one of the main ways that he stays in touch and builds his relationships and his friendships. So he has actually sent our kids, we have 3 children, I'm also married, we get an anniversary card on our wedding date, and also we all get birthday cards and we all get phone calls on those days. He's been using SendOutCards for years, and he uses the system to stay in touch and on top of those birthday cards. But in getting those birthday cards, we have a 21-year-old son, and when he was about 18, he was opening his birthday cards and his presents on his birthday, and after he was all done with all of that, I had the one particular card there that had been sent to him from Joe DeVito with RE/MAX Alliance. It was a birthday card to him. And at the end, he's picking up his stuff and his gifts, and I'm like, hey, would you mind if I hang on to this card from Joe? And he kind of looks at me and says, why? And I said, well, he's one of my clients with SendOutCards, and I like to show other realtors some really good ideas for staying in touch with their clients. And he looks at me with this kind of funny look and says, wow, he's one of your clients? I thought he was some uncle. And, it just goes to show here he'd been getting birthday cards from Uncle Joe, for 3-4 years. And who else remembers your birthday but someone like your relative, somebody close to you? And so I thought that was pretty interesting, and it just goes to show you that, those cards and remembering those special days, it helps you to really build that connection with that person, and it goes a long way. So making those positive deposits into your relationships is huge. And we're going to be looking at a couple of ways that you can do that. So first of all, I just mentioned birthday. So if you're on the webinar portion, I'm going to actually go into my system, show you a couple things. If you look at cards here on the red toolbar and click on campaigns underneath, you can create your own campaign so that you create a card, save it here, you name it, and then you can send it over and over again to different people at different times. And so there are quite a few campaigns I have. I'm going to be showing you a few of these today. But here's the one from Joe DeVito. And this is his teen birthday card, and the one that he'd send out. So he'll have one for male, female, kids, and a teenager. And so he puts a picture of him and his team on the front, so it makes it more personal. And there's like a border. There's different things that you can use right inside the SendOutCards system to make this really easy to do. And you can then just click Continue. Once you've chosen a card, you can use one of our stock cards, or you can use a card that you designed just like this one. And the inside of the card, you can also do a background color. You can type your own message. You can even have your own signature and your own handwriting inside the cards. So you're simply choosing a card, typing your message, uploading a picture if you want, and then you click Continue, and it gives you the opportunity then to send this card to one person, or you can save it as a campaign, as this one is saved, and send it to a group of people. And because this campaign is a birthday campaign, you can set this card up to automatically go out the week before the person's birthday. So if we wanted to send out a birthday card, here's all Joe DeVito has to do. He has to go over then to his contacts. This comes with a full contact management system. Go to your contacts, click on Find a Contact, and you can pull up your list of contacts. Let's just pull up a smaller group here and click Find Contact. Let's say these are all your clients that you want to send a birthday card to. You pull up the list, and you just choose Birthday Campaign and click Send. And what it will do, it will send out a birthday card to these 313 people automatically 7 days before their birthday as we go through the year. So it automates it, but it's still personal with your picture, with your handwriting, with your signature. And you also will receive an email the 2 weeks before the person's birthday. So if you want to, you could go into that card that's planning to be sent 7 days before their birthday. You could go in and you could add a little note. You could tweak the note. You could put something a little more personal in there if you want, if you have time. And if not, it's going to be sent out anyway. But if you see a name and you're like, oh, I just saw them, I want to put something in there, you can go into their contact info and just edit the card before it's sent out. And that's how you can remember birthdays. You also can remember anniversary dates of when they bought their home. You can set it to automatically send an anniversary date. Now, another thing that I like to do is just listen. Listen as you're talking to people, or when you're on Facebook and people say, we just had a new grandbaby, or just got a promotion at work. People tell you all kinds of things on Facebook, and I just watch and stay connected through Facebook as well. But then, when someone is celebrating something in their life, or even having something difficult they're going through, you could jump onto your SendOutCards account, choose a card, type a note, click send, and the card will be in the mail the very next day, and you've responded to, congratulate them or to show sympathy, and you're able to act on those individual promptings that come along day to day. Let me give you one example. So one of our clients has been using SendOutCards for years, Preston Shepard in Highlands in the Castle Rock area. He posted pictures of his brand new grandbaby, and he put them on Facebook, and this was their first grandbaby, him and his wife Sandy. And so, it took just a couple of minutes. I just downloaded the picture from Facebook, and then I chose one of the templates in SendOutCards. So I didn't have to be creative and design this. You just choose one of them and then just pop the picture in, and this is their little baby boy and his name, and this is the front of the card. And then on the inside is a picture of mom with baby, and this is Sandy, and this is Preston, and then just typed a note, signed it with our signature, and click send. So was able to send that off in just, a couple of minutes. And a few days later, I get a Facebook message thanking me for the card and saying, I absolutely love it. I carry it with me everywhere I go. Of course he's going to carry it with him, right? Because he wants to show pictures of his new grandbaby. So those are things that you can do just individually, just to stay connected, to let people know you care about them, to build your relationship with them. So SendOutCards is a fantastic relationship building tool. You can use it for these things that happen in people's lives on a daily basis, just to let them know you care. Right now, you could be sending out like particular holiday cards, like let's say for Valentine's Day, you want to send out, I love my clients, and wish them a happy Valentine's, and you just create the card, save it as a campaign, and click send to client group, and it mails it out to everybody on your list. Or spring or Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July. Take those special times to really celebrate with your clients. So that's our first part of the call there, with really building your relationships through remembering birthdays, remembering anniversaries, and celebrating the day-to-day things that happen in your client's life and building that relationship with them. The second part of our call, we're going to go into more target marketing, and I'd like to introduce Dave Moore out of Colorado Springs. He's going to be sharing with you some campaigns that he's created and also some campaigns that we have with Dave Beeson, and he's going to be sharing those with you and telling you how he's used those and how they've been successful in his business. So thanks for joining us, Dave.
Hi, Vonda. That was great first part of the call. I want to know how to get onto your Realtor's birthday card list. That was wonderful. Okay, so more in line with somewhat what we call target marketing. We're going to take you through some campaigns that I've used and then some campaigns that Dave Beeson's created that I use as well. We're going to start off with, in the real estate market, there's foreclosures, there's expireds, there's just listed, there's just staying in contact with your clients. So we're going to start off with, Vonda, you're going to find the Beeson expired campaign.
All right.
And what this is it's a campaign that Dave Beeson, who does the letter writing campaigns and everything, the text comes out of his campaign to contact people when their property has expired, it's failed to sell, and it's I think it's a 10-letter campaign, if I'm 10 or 12-letter campaign, and it starts with day one when you notice that the property has come on the market, and it just pretty much, if you open card one, you'll see an expired listing come up. You can load the person's information in, and then you can talk to them. You can actually send them this letter, and it talks to them about what's happening in the market. And unfortunately, your property didn't sell. It's very soft. It's a very soft approach to let them know that you're there, and maybe you can get in and talk to them. It then sends the cards. It actually, you can put your signature on this and everything, and then what it'll do is it'll send a card. Card 2 will go out 4 days later. And then every 4 days, it'll send them another card just to kind of keep you in front of them. And again, it's a very soft approach, and just asking if there's anything you can do to help them. What typically happens in the markets and stuff like that. And it goes on. The nice part about this is you can trigger this off. You can send it out, and maybe you target a certain area where you're going to want to concentrate, a particular subdivision or something like that. And as you see the expireds, you can load that up and send those out. The whole card system gets loaded up to begin with when you first hit send. The beauty of it is I can come back in after the second, third, fourth, whatever. When I make contact with them, maybe they call me, or I notice that it got relisted, or I have my appointment, I can stop the rest of the campaign and then just send them a thank you card for allowing me to come in and meet them. So it's very, very effective, and it's very flexible. You can put your own words. You can set your timing. If you don't want to send 10 cards, you can take the ones you like, and you can create this campaign in the way that you do business. Another targeted campaign would be for foreclosures. We refer to those as notice of election in demand here in Colorado Springs. In your particular area, you may have something else, but it's let's see, notice of election demand, 5 days. The number 3, next one down.
Next one, okay.
There you go. So this one is one that I've used successfully. And if you go ahead and open the first card, it's just a real simple 5-card system. First one's kind of generic. It lets them know that you've noticed that their property has come on the market, or that the notice of election demand has been filed, and that you're there for them. You can help them through the process. This one happens to be already have my information in, so if you're going to use it in your area, you change your name on it unless you want them to call me. And you can just put your personal touches on, like on the bottom. There's a little script. Let me know, what I might be able to do to help, and then you can actually, if you have your signature fonts, you can actually put your signature on there. I don't have the signature put on here, but when I do it, if there's something specific, I can actually, there you go, you can add that right to it, and then it's done. And you just put it where you want to, make it the size you want, so it looks like that it's coming from you. This particular one is not set up. It's set up on a 5-day cycle. Again, just like the other one, 5 days later, the second card. I tend not to do 1-week cycles for a reason. It's like every Monday morning they're going to get that letter. This one comes on an irregular basis until the 5 cards have run their sequence, just like the other one. If they call me up and say, hey, Dave, come over and talk to me, what I can do is I can then stop the rest of the campaign. After I've had the meeting, I send them another thank you card for allowing me to come in and see them, and hoping that we'll be able to do some business. So that's a foreclosure. Now, we don't have a campaign in here for just listed, which is very, very popular with sending the 5x5 or sending around a new listing. But those I particularly make individually, because I like to put a picture of the house on the front, and then I'd like to put something specific into it. But basically it's some features about the house. So it's not as canned, but the format is where you put and I use postcards for those a lot, where I let people know and I ask them to help me find their new neighbor. And if they know anybody that might be interested in living in their neighborhood, let me know, and we can get them in there. So we use it for just listings. One of the things, you go through all this, you find buyers, you find sellers, and eventually you want to put that client on and keep that client, because every so many years that client is going to want to buy or sell something else. So Dave Beeson, again, who does the letter writing campaigns, has created basically I call it client for life. I don't think Dave called it that, but it's client for life. And if you've ever listened to him or read any of his stuff, that's he does everything by referral, and it's clients for life. And he has a system, and it's a 7-year follow-up campaign. Okay, and we're going to go into the Beeson year. We're going to start with year 1 and 2. It's broken down into 2 and 1 year segments. So you can start it off with the 1 through 2, and this is the one where as soon as you close the house, card number 1 is going to go out to them, and it's down near the bottom. There it goes, and that's the congratulations letter. And this is all formatted out. You can put the client's first name, the spouse's first name. I like to, this particular one just says first name. I like to use the first name, spouse's first name when I use this, so I can put both of their names in there. And that's very easily added. You can just insert that and then make it fit the way you want it to fit. This will go out at the right after the closing, and then it's set up to go out every month. Now, some people say, "Oh, I don't want to drive my people crazy. I want them to stay with me." So you could take and tailor this. There's 24 cards here because this is the first 2 years. And what it is it's your first year and the 1 year anniversary and all the cards in between. And you can tailor it, take out some cards, make it the way you want it. If you want to send it every other month, if you like to send one a quarter. Some people say, well, twice a year, I just want to stay in front of them. You tailor it to the way you want to, pick the ones you want. But you stay in contact. You might want to send them at the 1 year anniversary. You might send them some brownies, or you might send them something along with it, kind of as a 1 year anniversary gift. It works very, very effectively. You can open up your database and you can start putting them in here, and you can put everybody in there, and you can actually go back in and you can start it. If you hadn't been doing it, you can start up doing it. You don't have to have the first one. So it's just basically a contact. You can put it as the anniversary. You could actually start the year 2, 3, and 4 if you wanted to, if you didn't want that first one, if it's been a few years and you hadn't been contacting. But it's an extremely effective way of maintaining that contact and keeping those clients.
Mm-hmm. And, when you think about actually the number one reason why someone doesn't do repeat business with you is because they don't remember your name. From the National Association of Realtors survey, that was the number one reason given. And, there are some realtors that do a good job at staying in touch and with their follow-up, and then there are many, in fact the majority, that don't. And so those are people that, they're not going to do repeat business or send you referral business if you're not staying in touch automatically. And with this particular, once they've bought their home and closed on the home, if you could start this campaign and it will send a card a month for the next 2 years. And then you could do the 3-4 year and the 5-6 year and the 7 year. So you've actually got 7 years of cards that could be sent out every month. And as Dave said, you can make it every other month if you want, or once a quarter, whatever you want to do. But imagine closing on a house and clicking a button and staying in touch, for the next 2 years, and it costs you $24. That's what this 2-year campaign would do. And all you do is take 5 seconds to start the campaign, and you're staying in touch for the next 2 years. And then, when that one's over, take 5 seconds and start the next 2 years. So great, great way to stay in touch. Very little money to do it. So any other comments there, Dave?
No, I think that covered it. Definitely stay in touch.
Awesome. Very good. Well, congratulations on your success with your real estate business and your success with SendOutCards. And so what we'd like to do, and as we've gone through here, notice that we mentioned you can send a card. You can just choose a card, type your message, click send, 1 card at a time. You can customize a card with a picture of their baby or them or whatever, their home, their house. So you can customize the card for that individual. You also can create a card, save it, use it as a campaign where you're going to send it over and over again, or you can set up the multiple card campaign and just start it, and it automatically will stay in touch either after closing or automatically remembering their birthday, their home anniversary date. And these are all things that you can do very simply. And you also can include a gift. There are times if you take your sphere of influence and you want to build a database of your top 250 clients, and then you want another group that's your top 50 out of those 250. And so those top 50 are the ones that they know, like, and trust you. They would, when a friend or an acquaintance or a family member asks, we're getting ready to list our home. Do you know any good realtors? Or we need to refinance our house. Do you know any, mortgage brokers? That the first person that comes to our mind is you. Those 50 people you want to stay in touch with more often. You may want to invest a few dollars in a gift, a couple of times a year. And so you can also do that. You can add a gift to any campaign or to any singular card. And so when you go in, if you're sending a card, one of the steps is you can include a gift or you can pass by it. And so right now you can see, and under Sought Gifts, it's a whole store. There are hundreds and hundreds of cards here on this store. And you can go into gourmet foods. You can choose a gift and just attach it with the card, and it will go with the card to that recipient. All you do is put in the address, and it's on its way. That's all you have to do. So it's a huge time saver. You're able to respond very quickly to those needs. And one of our most popular, I'm going to head over here to the bakery. One of our most popular gifts are the brownies. These are like the best brownies that you can get. And they're so yummy. They just go with your card, show up at the front door. You can do as little as, 2. They're really large brownies, but 2 packaged brownies that come in a box that would be 10 points and $4.55 for shipping it, for the packaging and the shipping. And so you purchase your product with points, and I'm going to explain that to you. Now, what you can do, whoever invited you to the call, hopefully they gave you a code. And that code will actually get you all of the campaigns that we are sharing with you. It'll help you get your account set up and get all the campaigns for free. You can take these campaigns and as Dave mentioned, you can edit them, you can take the content, you can tweak it, make it personal, add your picture, your signature, and you don't have to reinvent the whole thing. And so we're giving all of this content to you for free, and then you can use it in the way that you feel best for your business. So the way that you do that, there's a couple of ways to get started. You can get started as a customer account and just buy your cards and gifts as you go, right from your computer, instead of having to take time to get to a store and just do the manual work of that. Instead of having to drive to the store, get a card and find a stamp and get it to the mailbox, you just go onto your account, go into cards, and send it right here from your computer. It gets mailed out the very next day, Monday through Friday, and those go out the very next business day. So very convenient and less than what you would spend if you went to the store. So what I'd like to do, if you do have the code of the person that invited you to the call, just go to SendOutCards.com / and put in the code that they gave you. And you'll be able to scroll down to the bottom of that page and click Join Now. When you click Join Now, you're going to see the options available to you. You can get a customer account and just choose what amount of product would you like to send out. You can do just a pay-as-you-go, buy your cards as you go. If you do that, your cards are about $1.98, and that's less than the average price of a card at the store, and then you add your stamp to that. However, there's a much better value. If you go on a monthly subscription, you can actually choose either $9.80 a month, which makes your regular two-panel card only 98 cents. You get half price with just doing a $9.80 a month subscription. And the thing about the subscription is there's no contract. You could try it for a month and go off the subscription, and you never lose your account, and you have a whole year to use up those 10 cards that you put into the account. So it's a no-brainer to do a subscription because you're not locked in. So just pay month to month as you go. And if you don't use the 10 cards that you're purchasing there that month, they bank and roll to the next month, so you can accumulate them. So if you are planning to do, a particular holiday mailing or quarterly mailing, then, you can bank them and then send them out when you need them. You also can use this $9.80 as credit towards a gift as well. So you might send a box of brownies with your card, and so that would be the $9.80 could help you fund that gift. Now, there's even a better option. Our preferred customer gets our lowest price. In fact, it's our wholesale price that we offer to anyone who wants to purchase at our lowest level. And that is a $31 monthly subscription. Again, no contract, pay as you go, month to month, points, bank and roll. So $31 a month, and you're able to get credits, which we call points, 100 points a month to be able to use for cards, gifts, or postcards. And that makes your regular 2-panel card only 62 cents. So another 35% discount off of the retail customer. So I'd highly recommend, because you're in business, this is really the absolute best account to get. And use it as you go, and any of this money can be spent on cards and gifts as you need them as you go, month to month. If you need more than 100 points a month, you can choose to do a $62 subscription or a $93 subscription, whatever you'd like, just to make it simple. And then you add your postage as you go. So talk to the person that invited you to call. They'll help you get that set up. It's super easy. You can then also, you have the choice of being a partner with SendOutCards. If you have a marketing tool that helps you be successful in your real estate business, and it helps you to stay in touch and build relationships, do you have a couple of other people that you might refer it to? A couple other people that may also be interested, whether they're in real estate and mortgage, or whether they're, your sister or brother-in-law that's in a totally different business, or just using it for personal. Well, you can become a partner with SendOutCards very easily. It's actually only $395, and that's not a year. That's not a month. It's not a year. It's actually a lifetime account. For $395, you then would get 5% back on everything that you send out, everything that you spend on the system. You're going to get a check in the mail for 5% back. So it's another 5% discount off of our wholesale package. So that $395 gives you that 5%, and if you're using it for your business, that's probably going to be worth it right there when you look at the lifetime of sending out cards and gifts. You're going to save that $395 just in that benefit alone. However, you also receive a website that has a certain code that's unique to you, and